Hello residents of MeepleTown. Today we're going to be looking at Delicious from Pencil First Games. This is a draw and write game where you're going to be, or a flip and write game where you're going to be flipping these two cards over and you're going to have to choose, and you'll put tokens on this as well. I'll explain that in a minute. You're going to have to choose which one of these you're going to take based on this plant choice indicator up here. So if I choose the top card to put in the top planters of my card, then I'll have to choose this spot right here. I hope I'm pointing to the right spot, but I can only do that 4 times in a game. But essentially what you're trying to do is you're going to be drawing the different symbols into these locations based on how you do that. So you have to start from the bottom and kind of work your way up. In this planter, none of them can be equal. In this one, they have to be equal. And you've got different choices that you have to make there, and then you're going to be planting the fruit over on the side over here. Again, based on the plant choice. The cool thing about this is that it also has this little diagram in here that shows you how to draw those if you struggle with drawing it. And it shows you in the rule book as well how to draw those, how to sketch those different vegetables and fruit onto your sheet. So that's kind of the gist of the game. You're going to get points at the end for the amount of rows that you fill up, or the fruit works a little bit different. It's a column and rows that you're going to be getting victory points for, depending on the types that are next to each other. You're also going to get bonuses if you're the first one to complete some of those planters, or if you're the first one to complete large sections or whatever. So that is kind of the gist of the game. Now, this game is fun, but I will say it's a little bit deceiving because it looks like it would just be this super easygoing game, pretty light game. And it's not that it's heavy. I mean, it's not a difficult game to play, but it is really thinky, and it's a very tight game because you have to make the decision again of these plant choices. Which cards am I going to take, and when am I going to take them? Where am I going to put them? Do I take 1 this time? Do I take 2? You can only do that a certain amount of time for each of them. And so the closer you get to the end of the game, those decisions become more difficult, but also potentially more frustrating, because you think, well, if I would have known that these cards were going to come out this way, I would have made different decisions at the beginning of the game. And so that luck does play a factor in your decision making in this game. Not a bad thing necessarily, and for some people they're really going to like that. Some people are really going to like the tightness and the crunchy decisions of this game. It just might not be what you're expecting based on what you're looking at for the box and the fact that it is a flip and write game. So I can recommend this game to certain people who are going to like those crunchy decisions, who are going to be totally okay with that as you get to the end of the game, these decisions that you made at the beginning of the game might not pan out for you in the way that you want, and that can be a frustrating experience. But if you're okay with that, I think you're going to enjoy this game. If you like drawing little pictures on your sheet, then I think you're going to enjoy this game. See if I can grab one. I'm pretty bad at there we go, pretty bad at drawing on here, but it is, still a fun thing to do. For me, I don't know if this game really stands out from a lot of other flip and writes that I play or other games in this genre. There's others that I would rather play, but I do think it is a little bit unique in that you're drawing those symbols in there, and it is a tight, difficult decision game. So if that sounds like something you would play, go for it. I think this is a recommend for you. For me, I think there's other games that I would rather play in this genre. So that's going to do it for Delicious. It is a recommend for certain people, might just not necessarily be for me. That's going to do it for this time. Thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our Patreon supporters for making content like this possible. If you would like to become a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/MeepleTown. To follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, find us at MeepleTown Games. Finally, to connect with us and other residents of MeepleTown, you can join Guild 3407 at BoardGameGeek.com. Until next time, thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.